All right, let's take a look at some of those essential questions, key questions for any test, IELTS, TOEFL, CAE, when it comes to this major topic, technology. Of course, you know that the topic technology is a major IELTS-friendly, TOEFL-friendly topic, so they usually come up with questions, they ask you questions. If you're taking CAE or any test, this is important. It's a very important topic. So, what are some of the greatest technological advancements? So, remember technological advancements. So, greatest, what are some of the greatest technological advances? Chris.
Cell phones, computers, electronic cars, GPS, in my view.
Mm-hmm. So cell phones, computers, GPS. Okay, if the question is, if we're talking about the technological advances of all time, that's one issue. The 20th century is one issue. 21st century, that's one issue. So if I ask you what is the most important technological advancement of all time, I would love to see what your answer would be to that. But speaking of some of the technological advancements, perfect. Yes. So technological advancements like what? He talked about cell phones. What else? Computers?
Computers, GPS.
GPS. So on and so forth. So, Saki, what do you have? Technological advancements.
Cell phone.
Cell phone? Okay, do you have anything different?
No. Car?
Cars? Cars. The auto industry. The auto industry. Okay. What are some of the advantages and what are the disadvantages of technology? We talked about it at length, right?
With the question, should they answer something from the past, not only things like that?
Yeah, you can come up with something new. You can.
No, I mean from the technology that you and Chris talk about. That
Yeah, that's what I said. Because right now it's not telling you exactly 21st century or recent ones. So basically, you can say, but if you want to say that, you should say, I believe the biggest or the greatest technological advance of all time has been this, or is this, in my opinion. And then it's good to mention that. But usually when people talk about technology, they mean recent things. They mean computers, cell phones, GPS, so on and so forth. Cars, maybe, things like that. These are technological advances. Radar system, things like that. These are all technological advances that are rather recent. So in the past, it was technology. When somebody invented the wheel was a kind of technology. But it's just, when we talk about technology, the first thing that really comes to our minds would not be the wheel or things like that. So what are the advantages? So we talked about advantages and disadvantages a lot. Advantages and disadvantages of technology. We talked about this at length. At length means a lot and for a long time. We talked about this at length. When you talk about something at length, so we talked about this at length, issue at length. This basically means that we worked on every single aspect of it. Because I just want to make it short, so we'll move on to the next question. So the advantages that we talked about were technology makes things faster, right? Easier, more efficient. It gives us easier access to things, more accessible. Things become more accessible, so on and so forth. right? That was technology. Computers have everything from communication to life, every aspect of life. Remember, every aspect of life is good. Every aspect of life. Every aspect of life. Now, the disadvantages, some people believe it has taken some human values away from people. It has disrupted our social lives. It has distanced people from each other. So distanced people from each other.
And also there's some people who abuse good inventions for bad purposes. Like, for example, dynamite was actually, in the beginning, it was meant to help people in mining, but then eventually it emerged as a weapon in the war.
Yeah. There you go. Technology like weapons, we talked about it, they can kill. On the one hand, they could cure people in medical advancements, equipment. On the other hand, technology could be used very lethally and fatally in the form of weapons. Weapons of mass destruction that could wipe out a whole generation of people. So we have talked about this at length. But in your opinion, what is the greatest technological invention? Why? So, Javi, what is, in your opinion, the greatest technological invention and why?
The computer.
The computer.
Yeah.
Why?
Because you can make a lot of things with software and computers, like in the industry.
So the greatest technological invention.
Communication.
So Javi would say it's a computer. And Twee, what do you think?
Electricity.
Electricity. So one person says a computer. So the other person says electricity.
I think it's glasses and contacts.
Contact lens and glasses?
Yeah, contact lenses.
Okay, eyeglasses. Eyeglasses, amazing. How would you support this rather...
I'm totally blind without anything of that. I wouldn't be totally useless for the whole mankind if I don't have anything of that. So.
Okay, so we have somebody who believes eyeglasses would be. That was amazing. Okay, what do you think?
I think there are kids with LASIK.
LASIK surgery? Yeah, you could have done LASIK surgery?
Yeah, I want to take a LASIK surgery because it's such a hassle every morning. And they are to wear like contact lens.
Contact lens?
So I will take her.
You want to do LASIK?
Yeah, I want to take LASIK.
But you know, some glasses look really cool, and I don't want
Yeah.
to. Yeah.
Really?
Look nice.
There's some glasses that make you look.
Photo glasses and
Yeah.
But
And-
people in glasses somehow look more attractive.
So.
I don't know why. For me, at least
So.
they look like,
okay. Do
Yeah.
you have
for
contacts?
example.
Yeah, that's right.
So we just learned today that Kay wears contact lens. And what is the number?
The number?
Yeah, the number of the contact lens, the eye, your eye.
I have no idea.
Like 0.75, 0.25,
Ah.
1.
the worst.
The diop-
Worst?
The worst.
dioptrine.
What's dioptrine?
Okay.
Like for example, I've got -6. I'm totally blind without anything.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Okay.
There.
6?
Yeah.
You too. 6.
Yeah, I have
Oh my
a terrible,
God.
but I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Saki, what do you think is the best, the most important, the greatest technological invention of all time? Cell phone. Amazing. So, what is your reason?
Because
How would you support this?
yeah,
before we have a cell phone, we have to use letters or phone,
But now the cell phone
Yeah,
has
cell
changed
phone.
everything.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So, do you think pets, do you know, you guys know about cloning? Cloning is another technological advancement. Do you think cloning is right? And do you think, some people are against cloning for conservative religious purposes or ethical values? Different people, they believe in ethical, based on ethical, moral values. Some people are generally against cloning. Some people are for it. Tui, are you against or for cloning?
I actually don't have enough knowledge in this field to make a judge or something, but personally, if it were me, I don't want another self exactly like me.
Would you like to be cloned? You don't like another Tui?
Yes.
I like to, but I don't want to be cloned.
Cloned, like 100 Tuis.
But what if you're cloned and your clone becomes criminal and kills somebody and you get charged for it?
Oh no, that's the best.
I don't want to clone.
Yeah, that's the best.
So, Ali, would you like cloning? What do you think about cloning as a technological advancement? Do you think cloning, because cloning, what it does, it can help prevent lots of diseases. It can help, for example, if I have my heart, they can make organs also. They can clone not just the whole human being, but they can clone organs from stem cells. You know stem cell research? That's stem cell research. This, I want you to learn this because you will see and hear stem cell research a lot. It's a highly controversial issue. Many people are against it and many people are for it. Highly controversial. Controversial. Yeah. Correct? Highly controversial. And so you can say either something is very controversial, or you can say there are many controversies surrounding this issue. There are many controversies surrounding the issue of stem cell research. There are many controversies surrounding the issue of, it means there are many, this issue is surrounded with or by controversies. This issue is surrounded by or with controversies. So you can say controversial or contentious. Contentious. I want you to learn this way of speaking. This is highly controversial. It is a highly controversial. Instead of saying very, please say highly controversial. It's a highly controversial issue. It's a highly controversial subject. It's a highly contentious issue. It's a highly contentious subject. Contentious means controversial here. So if something is highly contentious or controversial, what is that supposed to mean? Some people are for it, some people are against it. There are advantages and disadvantages. There are different sides to this issue. Pros and cons, remember? So, this issue is surrounded by or with controversies. So, surrounded by controversies. So, if there are many controversies surrounding this issue, or it's a highly controversial issue, stem cell research. In the US, it's a major policy decision. So you would see that many Democrats or Republicans who want to come to office, who want to win office, and they're running for elections, they're running in an election, while running for president, running for congressman, running for senator, they would talk about stem cell research and they ask them about that. Because if stem cell research is allowed, it's about cloning. Now, people who are religiously conservative are against it, based on the assumption that stem cell research would tamper with God's works. Because you're kind of playing God. You know, when you play God, it means you are acting as God. What am I doing? Creation, they believe, belongs to God. And by doing this, we're somehow creating new cells from old cells. So basically, you're creating new life. And they believe creating new life. Plus, they also believe that stem cell research has its dangers, which could be very damaging. Now, the first sheep that was cloned died very fast. But it was cloned, and it was an achievement. Human beings made a sheep using stem cells. Now, that's why they say it's good for treatment of cancer, stem cell research. It's good for treatment of uncurable diseases, such as Alzheimer's disease. And people believe that at the end of the day, this could actually help people. So, stem cell is good.
How did they actually create the sheep? Have they developed the different organs and then puzzled it together?
So that's going to be a subject of one of our discussions, hopefully. What was the name of that sheep that was cloned?
Dolly.
Yeah? Yes. Anyways, it's highly contentious and controversial, and so stem cell research could be one of those things. Do you think pets should be cloned? Pets? If you have a pet and your pet is dying, do you think you would like to have it cloned?
No.
So at least when he dies, you'll have its clone?
No.
No? Why not, Tui?
No.
Why not?
Over is over. I don't know what the meaning. Try to extend it. Try to
So
do
cloned
something unnatural.
pets. Unnatural.
And it's not the same, right? Oh my God.
Well, you never know, because the pet will have exactly the same genes. The genetic thing would be the same.
And we must accept it that we lost it. And it's, at least for me, it's still okay.
Okay, yeah, people have issues with that. See, right now it's a controversial issue. But we can talk about this it's a good topic for discussion too. Whether cloning is a moral, ethical issue, whether you would like people cloned or not, that's an issue we can talk about. How about GMO? Genetically modified foods and vegetables. So you know that most of our food now is GMO, which is genetically modified. So we have genetically modified, we have foods and vegetables. What do you think about the GMOs? Most of the food that we get to eat is genetically modified. Some say really unfortunately. They say there are many programs done on why the GMO foods, they're killing us in the long run, or they're making us sick, why we have this cancer rate shooting through the roof, and all that. So, what do you think? It's good to know there's GMO food. So is it better to use natural food, although it might not produce as much, or should we use GMO crops? Because of GMO crops, you'll have lots of crops. There'll be lots of, for example, wheat, there'll be lots of rice, there'll be lots of that. With GMO foods, lots of it. Natural products, not necessarily, or organic foods.
I think the issue is that the only persons or people who benefit of the situation are the producers, the eventual customers. they don't really care if the eggplant is now 20 cents more or
What if
more or
producers
less.
argue that there's not enough land for
Yeah.
all these people?
And
And-
That's
Not enough
totally
food.
untrue. It's totally untrue.
So it's totally interesting.
So the United States alone, they have a potential for 4 times the population. They
What do you mean? Like we
there's
should come
so
teach
much
the Germans?
because I think
We should farm and feed you? What? Do all those like 10 million kilometers worth of potatoes? It's like
because actually I think even farming land things can make a land
In
degradation.
the United States, you don't have any famines at all. You've got an abundance of food. There's some other regions.
Sometimes something can affect like climate, weather, something we cannot control it totally, and population all over the world just increase. Food may be shortage, not enough for everyone.
so food shortage is an issue that these guys bring up, and Chris says absolute nonsense. So food shortage
There's
due
so
to
much-
lack of
yeah.
land,
There's more food being thrown away at the moment than actually consumed.
lack of land, lack of agricultural that is land that is fertile. Some people argue that there's lack of fertile land, and GMO techniques would help. They're really efficient and they help make the best use of the land that's available, that's fertile. And other people argue that no, they're genetically modified, bad for our health, detrimental to our health, and they will kill us. Saki, what do you think robots should be used for? Do you have a robot? Have you ever had a robot at home?
No.
Are you a robot? Is any member of your family a robot?
No, but my uncle has.
See, in Japan, my uncle has a robot.
But not for cleaning. Like automatically cleaning.
Roomba.
Roomba, yeah, Roomba.
See, her uncle has a Roomba.
Yeah, Roomba.
Roomba?
Yeah.
Roomba. What is Roomba?
Oh, you
He
don't know.
cleans
No.
Roomba.
by himself. Like
Creates a room by himself?
clean.
Cleans the room?
Clean
Yeah.
up.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't
You
have.
don't know?
You don't know? Yes.
Really?
Hey, it comes from American company.
Yeah, I know. Like I've seen the.
Then
There's
Yeah.
Could be.
I've seen ads about it, but yeah, I would never want a robot around my house, like cleaning. I've seen that. Yeah, that's been around for years. Would you like to have a robot clean your bastard pad? That's good.
No, I don't.
She doesn't like the robot around, right? I kind of feel weird, right? And
And because I watch a movie a lot, and someday the robot can do something
Yeah.
behind my back. Oh,
Have you
it's scary.
have you seen iRobot with Will Smith?
I'm not sure about the name, but I watched something like that.
so the question is, do you think robots are doing more good than harm? You know, more good than harm or more harm than good? So we have more good to do more good than harm, or vice versa. Have you heard vice versa? So vice versa, I mean, you can stay here and then leave, or you can leave and then stay there, or you can.
Conversely,
Hmm? So, yeah. So vice versa. So vice versa means, do you think, like the example is right here, do you think robots are doing more good than harm or more harm than good? So if I say more good than harm or vice versa, it means or the other way. So do you think robots are doing more harm than good or vice versa? Or more good than harm? So one thing robots have done They are the result of a process of automation, right? We talked about automation. And of course, there's another one, intelligence. Artificial what? Artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence. So when we talk, and what is the adjective for a robot? For example, robot, what arms? Robotic. And we have some versions like Robocop. Robocop. You know there's a game Robocop, there's a movie Robocop. Robocop means a cop that's a robot. So your uncle has a Roomba. Do you like it when you see the Roomba? It cleans the house and everything and it feels good. Wow, look at the Roomba. Yeah? Smart Roomba. Beautiful.
Is it a real robot or is it one of those
There's a
small things that
Like, so, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of feel weird, there's something just running around the house.
No.
No, because he doesn't
look
bother you.
Doesn't bother you?
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah? What if the Roomba decides he likes you?
You got too much movie.
Robotic. So robot, robotic. Robocop. Automation is the process where things become automatic, right? And we have automation. Actually, automation, to automate things. To automate. Things have become automatic, right? Automate. So everything has automatic. Guys, automation itself is a huge technological advancement, right? Now that we actually do this remote control, remote controllers. So the remote controllers that would control our, even in smart apartments, you can control the lights, you can open or close the door, the window, turn down, turn up, the stereo, and everything you wanted. That's automation, right? You just have a piece of gadget, and you do things. And now automation is just going to the max by standing in front of your TV, and your TV has this electronic eye, yeah, electronic eye, that sees you and reacts to whatever it is you do. Yeah? Haven't you seen these video games? You do this, and the guy is actually doing all the acts in the video game. Right now, if you go to Dundas Center here in Toronto, you see that there's a big screen TV, and there you can do this and then like play games like that instead of just doing it with joysticks or any of those handheld equipment. You have basically body movements that would command the action on the screen. Yeah, it's amazing. You gotta check it out. So instead of having just a Roomba around home, are there Roomba girls? Dip, 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 right? No? So, what do you think of robots? Do you think it's a welcome technological advancement, hobby? Do you think robots are good? Are they doing more harm or more good? You know, you would say, I believe this technology is doing more harm than good. Jackson would argue that cell phones have done more harm than good. They have done more. These are good things to learn and say. I believe cell phones have done more harm, more bad things than good. Or cell phones have done more good than harm. Now Saki believes that life without cell phones is totally impossible.
But I think robots make us less self-reliant.
So, that was a very good argument. So robots make us less self-reliant. Amazing. Where did you get that one? Amazing. Beautiful. So do you have a robot in your brain? So robots make us less self-reliant.
Janet.
Yeah, there should be something wrong here.
No.
No? Does it look good to you? Tui? It looks good to you, then it looks good to me. Yes, self-reliant means we start relying we become more dependent. Yes. So we're less self-defined, reliant, more dependent, right? We become more dependent. Independent. Or dependent. We have become more dependent on technology. Do you think this dependence on technology, this is a good one. Do you think the dependence, do you think this dependence on technology has been destructive for mankind? Is that a plus or a minus?
Up to now, it brings both pros and cons, advantage and disadvantage to mankind. So, this is a difficult question to answer.
Very difficult. Do you think technology has this dependence? What do you think of our dependence on technology? Dependence. This dependence. Good thing or bad thing? Is it a good thing or a bad thing? Advantages or disadvantages? Which one outweighs the other? So do advantages outweigh the disadvantages? And I keep repeating this. Advantages, I would say, outweigh the disadvantages. Or vice versa. Do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages, or vice versa? Or we say the other way around. You would argue that I believe it's the other way around. It's the other way around. What do you think?